Hi everybody, welcome back to So You Want to Live in Bahia. Today we're going to talk about birth certificates and why you unfortunately need one to buy property here in Brazil. Stay tuned. Hey y'all, my name is Kitty. I'm a gringa living here in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil for more than 12 years, and I am a licensed real estate agent, so hit me up if you're interested in purchasing property here in Salvador or in Bahia. So birth certificates, why do we need them when we buy property here? Well, the answer is sort of simple. In Brazil, Brazilians, when they're married and when they're divorced, everything's registered on their birth certificate. So this is the easiest way for the government to know that if you're married, your spouse knows and is signing the paperwork, or if you're divorced, then whatever. They know. No one's going to buy or sell property and have it hidden from their spouse because they have to show their birth certificate, which has their marriages registered on there. Now, for us in the US, that's not the case. We don't register our marriages on our birth certificates, but it does not seem to matter to Brazilians or to the government of Brazil. We still need to show a birth certificate. Now, because this is a process that can take a little while, I suggest that you get on it as soon as you really know, okay, I'm buying this property. So I'm gonna run through the 4 steps of what needs to be done. Step 1, order your birth certificate. Now, all these links are going to be in the show notes to help you out to get these things figured out. You have to order your birth certificate, and after it comes in the mail, you need to, number 2, apostle your birth certificate. Now, I think you might actually have the option to have your birth certificate sent to you apostled, but the thing is, if you're not a resident in Brazil, then in addition to having your birth certificate apostilled, you'll also need your passport apostilled. So step 2, get your birth certificate and your passport apostilled. Now step 3 is getting those documents translated. A tradução juramentada. But the thing is here, it has to be done here in Brazil. You cannot have a translation from your language to Portuguese from any other country, even if it's a perfect translation and it's got all of its stamps and everything. Nope, the translation has to be done in Brazil. Very important. There is one person I use that does translation here in Salvador, and her contact will be in the show notes. So after you've gotten that done, step 4 is something you may or may not be doing. Maybe your real estate agent will do it for you. Maybe you pay a little extra to have someone do it for you. Step 4 is having your birth certificate and your passport registered. Step 4. So let me explain this process in case you are the one who's actually doing it, and you never know, maybe you will be. The process is you have to go to a specific cartorio. Now in Salvador, the name of that cartorio is it's kind of a mouthful, it's a lot of words here. Cartorio Oficio de Registro Civil das Pessoas Naturais. Now this cartorio is close to Salvador Shopping on Tancredo Neves. It's going to be a 2-day process. What you're going to do is you're going to show up with all your documentation, your translation, and your apostle papers. Now, if you want to, you can go and have copies of that made beforehand, or you can do it the day of. You show up to this cartorio, they go through all your paperwork, and they charge you per page. And so it's going to be anywhere between 150 reais to 300 reais. What's very important is that you bring cash with you, because you cannot pay with a card. Nope, has to be paid in cash. Now, it would be super easy if you could just pay there, right? No, you have to go to lotérica. And lotéricas are places that we go to in Brazil if you have to pay something and you don't have a bank account. And if it's under a certain amount of money, you can just go and wait in line and you pay it in cash. Now, in this case, if you go to this cartorio on Tancredo Neves, you're going to go downstairs, you're going to walk about a half block away to the gas station, and at the gas station there is a mini shopping center, and inside that mini shopping center is a lotérica. So you're going to pay the daji that they print up for you to have everything registered. And then if you haven't already made copies, you can go upstairs and have a copy of every single page that you're submitting of that. Make a copy of that. Then you're gonna go downstairs, go back to the cartorio, which is 1 floor up. You wait again, and you will drop off for them the original documents, copies of all those documents, and proof of payment. And then from there, it's fairly quick. If you drop it off on a Wednesday, it's usually ready by Thursday after 12 p.m. If I'm not mistaken, the Cartorio is open until 4 or 5. That Cartorio. A lot of Cartorios close at 2. Every Cartorio depends. So that's it. The thing with the passport is once it's registered, that registration is good until the passport expires. So if you need it for any other reason, you have it. With the birth certificate, it's only good for 90 days. So there's not much use. Unless you're going to be buying property, 2 pieces of property in a row, very quick, then you can reuse your birth certificate. Otherwise, if you buy more property, you have to do the whole process over again with the birth certificate. So that's how things work here in Brazil. Hey, if you have any ideas for videos, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your ideas. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Beijos!